I'm at with my balls and my guns out. And then I said, you can stand behind me if you're afraid.
Did he hit you back?
No, I don't think he will. Fuck the government, by the way. Like, you don't owe these people. They're your fucking employees. We are not subjects of a fucking kingdom. We are citizens of a constitutional republic. Fuck these motherfuckers. You don't owe them any of your money. You don't owe them any of your fucking liberty. God damn it, man.
That's nuts, man.
It's pretty nuts, but the only reason it happens is because people allow it to happen. That's it.
Yeah.
Like every time you tell these motherfuckers no, and to be honest, this guy should file a civil complaint and sue the ATF and the Delaware State Police for.
They think they know it. I've been praying for somebody to save me. No one's heroic in my life, don't even matter. I know it, I know it, I know I'm hurt deep down, but can't show it. I never had a place to call my own. I never had a home. Ain't nobody calling my phone. Where you been, where you at, what's on your mind? They say every life precious, but nobody care about mine. I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine. I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine. I want you to be right. I want you to be right. You don't gotta die today. You don't gotta die. I want you to be right. I want you to be right. You don't gotta die. Now let me tell you why. It's the very first breath when your head's been drowning underwater, and it's a lightness in the air when you're there chest to chest with a lover. It's holding on though the road's long and seeing light in the darkest things, and when you stare at your reflection finally knowing who it is.
All right, welcome back to the Death by Tyranny podcast. I don't know about you guys. Anybody? Let's get this off the screen real quick. Any of you guys catch the GOP debates? I think my initial response to Trump not wanting to do the debates was, that's the best part of Trump. That's when you get the best qualities of Trump comes out, is when he's debating. But I'm kind of glad he wasn't there because it was so cringe. But the worst part, I think, about him not being there was you had this new GOP class trying to take over, and he was kind of preying on all of the weaknesses of the GOP. You had a very young candidate. You had a brown candidate. That he's just going down the list there, checking all the boxes. What was his name? Ramaswamy? See if I can't pull up a pic here and we'll go down the list. But it was just awful. Awful. GOP debate candidates. So you had Chris Christie, of course, his fat ass. I can't even believe they had that guy up there. Honestly, if these are the people we're working with, I don't want to vote for the GOP. It's humiliating. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. I guess I could have had this pulled up here. Yeah, I was right. It's Ramaswamy. So, of course you have, he's a younger guy, so he's throwing these little sneak disses that Pence probably doesn't even know what the guy's talking about. And per usual, Pence is also like, what do you mean the American people? Fuck the American people. it's almost, a detriment to Trump that he ever even selected this guy for a VP. And I just want all the DeSantis fans to realize how lame that guy is. I'm sure he's a very good governor. If he wasn't, you wouldn't have people flocking to Florida like they're going down there in droves. But he's not exciting. He doesn't know how to debate for shit. So the front runner is, you probably have Ramaswamy and what's the other guy's name? Scott. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but is Scott not a like one of these gay Republican guys? And if not, he fooled the fuck out of me. So you got fat ass Chris Christie, right? Which I don't even know why this guy wastes his money at this point. He must owe some like horrible people horrible favors. And so they just force him to run every single time. I think Pence has to shoot his shot now because he knows after this election, it's like over. Although I don't know why he would do it in the first place. He embodies the new age 20th century Judas. So why he's running, I have no idea. Other than personal interest, of course. Then you have Ramaswamy. And I haven't done a lot of research into any of these guys other than enough to know they're all fucking clowns. So I guess the real question is here, if you weren't voting for Trump because all the bad people that exist in our hemisphere are going after Trump, which is almost enough evidence in itself to know that he's the right guy to be voting for, then you seeing all the other candidates last night had to been what pushed you over the edge to vote for Trump. Now, hopefully, I'm not sure if I got this right. File editor Chrome. No. Ecamm profile edit. Okay, hopefully it says it's the going through the roadcaster, so hopefully that's good enough there. Might be peaking a little bit. I had to mess with some of the audio settings, so. But for whatever the reason is here, it's still picking up. I don't even know what that button means. I guess we can check it. It's not like anybody's actually watching this at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mic check. Mic check. All right, so the mic's definitely working. Nothing else is working, but the mic is working. So yeah. I don't know if I'm the only one that's seen this coming, but you knew they were going to throw more than one diversity candidate in the GOP debates. It's almost like GOP now that nowadays they say they stand for everything against this woke diversity movement, yet at every turn they appease to it. And I don't understand that. We know the recipe and how to defeat this movement, yet we're hurting ourselves. When you have the silent majority, if you will, come out and do something like what they did with Bud Light and just totally and utterly annihilate them with a boycott. Disney stocks, Netflix stocks, they all plummet. Each Marvel movie does worse, movie after movie. And yet you wonder why they keep trying this shit. Well, they keep trying this shit because that's what they want. That's what they need implemented to keep control of the masses. And so anytime the silent majority, the majority conservative middle class of America stands up, speaks out in some type of way, whether it be peaceful non-compliance, whether it be boycotting, whatever it may be, the GOP turns around and stabs us in the back every chance they can get. So is maybe entertaining at the very most that the GOP debates were. Understand it was nothing more than a sideshow to appease the Karens and the stay-at-home moms that have nothing better else to do than have empathy for this diversity conservative movement. Whereas conservatives as a whole, we're done with it. And I keep trying to tell you guys this. It isn't going to be a friendly divorce in ideology and policy. That's not how the woke agenda was implemented. They had more time because the conservatives were naive. So it happened over a slower distance on the timeline. But that's not how we're going to fix it. How we're going to fix it is to use some of the same strategies, but we have to speed them up. You don't tell your friends and your coworkers that might be progressive or agree with all this woke bullshit that you're voting for Trump because you think he's the best candidate. They know Trump's the best candidate. You have to tell them the more nerve-wracking reasons on why you're voting for Trump. You're voting for Trump because you're tired of the diversity hires. Everyone, and it's not to say that some of these people can't grow to be good politicians. There is just none that exists so far. We have tried this in an experiment in 2007. Obama was elected because he was black. Because he was black and because he sounded like he didn't come from the inner cities of Chicago. Because he did not come from Chicago. So he fooled a lot of minorities into voting for him. And then you have the other half that vote Democrat regardless because they are unable to make up their own mind for whatever reason. And then you have the conservative stay-at-home moms that want to vote for this progressive woke bullshit because they secretly and silently hate their lives and their husbands because they're miserable and stuck at home and feel oppressed. And then maybe you have some of the younger crowd that honestly thought that there might be a change. And I think that was a little bit of it. But we have done that. We have seen how that plays out, and it did not play out in our favor. Now here it is, 2023. The GOP knows that almost every single conservative that is going to vote Republican wants to vote for Trump. But instead of fighting for Trump and making sure that he is a candidate that we can vote for, they have brought forth other people. Other people that are not only not good enough, but go against everything that we believe in. Ramaswamy likes the open borders. Regardless of what he said last night, he has helped push a message for open borders in the past. Not to mention, he thinks it is a good idea. And it is a great thing that places like California and Texas are no longer a majority white. Well, in those parts, they're falling apart. We talk a lot about culture and the way culture drives the environment in which we live. And it is bigoted as it might sound, white middle-class Christian culture establishes and continues a good society. And if that's what we want as American people to continue in our country, that's what we're going to have to try to push for as far as the culture. So the country not being a majority white by 2050 or whatever it is now is not something we should be celebrating, whether you're white or not. There are too many people out there that will battle and confront this misinterpretation of reality. You can go all through over YouTube, whether they're throttled, censored, no matter what, there are tons of minorities that will tell you that the white middle-class Christian culture that helped build this country is not only good for white middle-class Americans, but for the society that we loved, that we want back in America. It is the same culture that has helped a lot of those minorities prosper since then. Now, they like to bring up all kinds of old shit in the past and yada, yada, yada. But they always exclude the fact that that same culture is what got rid of those things that were bad in the past. So no matter how you felt about the debates last night, do not let it sway you away from voting for Trump. Don't vote for Trump because that's what other people tell you to do. Watch the debates. Did anybody say anything that was worthwhile? Did anybody say anything that was worth your vote? And I'd almost guarantee you, if the answer to that question is yes, whatever it is they said probably sounded a lot like Trump. The energy in which they said it with was probably the same energy and reminded you a lot of Trump in 2016. There's another piece to that puzzle as well. The mainstream media, the progressive class, this woke mob, they do not want Trump to win. Those same people have implemented and destroyed the America you know and love, and they don't want Trump to win. That should tell you everything you need to know. That should 100% lock in your vote for Trump. If 6 months from now Trump is in a prison cell, that should not sway you. You have seen what they have done to Trump's family. You have seen what they have tried to do with Trump's credibility. Every step of the way, they have done everything they can to sway you from not wanting to vote for Trump. Now, people that are very low IQ when it comes to politics were swayed in 2020. And I think a lot of those people, as low IQ as they are, have seen the mistakes in their ways. So with that, I believe those same people know what they have to do to correct their wrongs. They have to vote Trump 2024. And, you know, as much as anybody else, I was hoping that with all the hurdles Trump has to overcome with running in 2024, that there could have possibly been a candidate that at least could have rode with Trump. Maybe we wouldn't have got Trump in the Oval Office, but we knew we had an ally. And last night, we seen that that's just not the case. It's Trump or nothing. And as unfortunate as that is, because we had scenarios where we could have had something better, longer, something with a more structured, long-term plan. We could have had 4 more years of Trump and 8 years of DeSantis into maybe 8 years of Ramaswamy or whatever the GOP minority favorite is now. You're talking about 20 years of potentially a decent conservative Republican leadership that would not have only corrected all the mistakes that Biden has done in these few short 3 years, but that would have been enough time to restructure America's society from front to back. We could have had something that we can't even imagine yet. But instead, even our own GOP party that expects us to be just as loyal as the minorities are to the Democrats are still putting people in front of our face, trying to stab us in the back and sway us on what they know we actually want. I thought this was a free republic. I thought we could put who we wanted in office as president. Now, I know that sounds kind of stupid after 2020, now that we know they can pretty much put whoever they want in there. But I still think it was a nice idea to have. And who knows? This still might be possible. Because the more they push people away from Trump, even our own GOP party, the more we are seeing people come to our side. The more we are seeing people celebrate and want to help promote Trump. And I know this to be true because I listen to a lot of political podcasts and political pundits. And 9 months ago, there were a lot of people trying to say that the GOP had nobody interesting. If they did, it was DeSantis, and that Trump didn't deserve anybody's vote. And the more the media tries to attack this guy, the more the unjust Justice Department goes after Trump, the more they take these three branches of government and combine them into some evil sorcery manipulation globe ball, the more people want to support Trump. So I don't know at this point, because they are so good at manipulating people, if they almost don't want Trump to be the next president, because everything that I'm seeing them do is pushing people towards him, not away. And I don't think last night's GOP debates did anything to change what is going on in that aspect. So don't take my word for it. At the very least, watch some of the highlights of the debates last night. We all know the DNC's debates are going to be an utter and total shit show. But I'm telling you, there was nothing in the GOP debates last night that was even worth anybody's time. With that, guys, I know it's early. I always like trying new times to see when people are randomly scrolling through Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, wherever the fuck this is playing at. I played with a little bit of the lighting and ISO and all that stuff on my camera. I think at some point we're going to try to go a different direction. We'll always still have the podcast because that's where my heart kind of lies, is just sitting on the mic and rambling and talking. If for anything else, I know some people see it and they hate my guts, and that kind of gives me something to keep moving forward. But I would like to make different content, maybe some short, 1-2 minute films. For as much as I got in this to do podcasting, I fell in love with like videography and slowly but surely photography. It's just really expensive. And since I don't make any money with the podcast, it's kind of hard to buy things to try out new things, but we'll get there slowly but surely. I think we're talking about maybe doing a project, if I can get some equipment pulled together, maybe making a short music video. And then after that, I think we have hopes to make a short horror movie or something like that. And the reasons that's cool is because at some point it will all come back around. And where we will always have the podcast here, whether people listen or not, I would like to put out my own propaganda videos in the future, because I think we're going to need it. There was unknown filmmakers back in the day making kind of these propaganda hit pieces that are, ultra famous nowadays. And who knows, maybe my name will be somewhere, lead camera, lead, director someday in the near future. This isn't really my time, so sorry for the low energy. I love you guys. Stay safe. Fuck the GOP. They're garbage. Vote for Trump. I love you guys. Stay safe. God bless. America first. Peace, y'all.